Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Salty Language presents The Enthusiast.
Welcome to another episode of The Enthusiast. I'm Brian.
I'm Tony.
And tonight we're joined by Mark Bogner of the Tangent-Bound Podcast and the Tangent-Bound Network.
It's a really fun conversation you're going to listen to.
Yeah, very much so. Especially if you're a big fan of how Tony and I train wreck things on the regular episodes, because boy howdy.
Yeah, exactly. Mark joins in. He was like the conductor to train.
He was.
Maybe the crazy guy in the back swinging the lantern.
Yeah. Well, he did call himself, guy in the corner. So
there you
pretty
go.
much. So yeah, this really good talk. We talk a lot of things about podcasting, beer, just silliness, and a whole bunch of things. His current GoFundMe. So yeah, which
is GoFundMe.com/help-me-create-something-awesome.
Yes. So go hit that up and help a brother out. And, so without any more baloney from us, here's the talk with Mark. So, Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, this is the first time we've actually, talked with you, even though we've been part of your network, the Tangent-Bound Network, for, a while. Yeah. How long have you been running that network?
Actually, the funny thing is the podcast is 4 years old and the network is 3 years old.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's just something I found that I'm very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting and helping other people out and things like that. So.
Yeah,
it's kind of a sickness, isn't it?
You know what? That's probably a good way to describe it, because when I first started out podcasting, nobody was helping me, and I had to find out the hard way on how to do half this stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I figured it out, finally, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to help other people, and I'm going to do it for free. So, none of this, hey, you can pay me however many dollars an hour to do this, and
yeah.
No, I'm just going to give it to you.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part, is that, there are tons of ways you can pay other people to teach you things that are available for free, but you have to go look for that stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Because we were the same way. Like, when we started, we had absolutely no clue what we were doing. We just let's just do this and we'll see what happens.
We're still figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still figuring it out.
But it is really cool. I remember, I can't remember how I was introduced to your network, but I remember when I looked at the way you approach it and stuff, and how you were able to, or how you offered to help newer shows get going and stuff like that. And I was like, this is so awesome, because this is exactly what a network should be. Well,
yeah,
not just helping each other promote the shows and stuff, but also helping each other become better podcasters, and it's just improving and learning just basic stuff too.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, having made contacts in the podcasting realm, I've picked up new tricks. I've learned things from other people, and I want to share that with other people as well. I want to help them get going and get the traction that they need to succeed. So, I've even gone to conventions giving tips and panels on how to podcast, how to monetize your podcast, how to basically, let your podcast grow, how you can do it on the cheap, how you can even get started for free, because, well, let's face it, free is the best number of them all.
Yes.
Free's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's like, it's interesting because before we started, I looked online kind of like, how to start a podcast. And, a lot of those posts were like, for around $500, you can get going. And I'm like, whoo, okay, I don't have $500. And we started with a board and 2 mics that we got on sale, actually. So I think we started for what, Tony? Like less than $200, but that was mainly, or no, it wasn't even 2. Yeah. I think it was like 150, maybe, because most of that was in the board,
it was pretty, we started pretty cheap, and bare bones server fees. I mean, everything. Or hosting fees, not server fees. I'm thinking websites.
Yeah.
I started with $85. That was a small USB mixer about the size of, I don't know.
Like an external hard drive?
Like an external hard drive that had 2 quarter-inch jacks, and I got 2 dynamic microphones with it. It was called the Podcast Starter Kit for $69, and then I got that extra microphone to add to it. So that was kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, sweet. I got a laptop. I got this little USB mixer, if you really want to call it that, and then I was like, what do I do now?
Right.
So right. I put up a website, and I just put the raw files out there, and I was like streaming directly from the site instead of an RSS feed or anything like that. We weren't on iTunes until, I want to say, almost a year later.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah,
so it was just one of those, you had to go out to the site and listen to it that way. So like if you were on your mobile device, you'd be using your browser, and you couldn't use it for anything else.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Wow.
It's listening to my show.
Wow.
So, I occupied your browser.
Yeah, you just took over the phone. No big deal,
Yeah, absolutely.
Something to be proud of, actually.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I got to say, I appreciate so much all the stuff that I see you do to help people, and the stuff that you offer, and just how much you go out of your way to keep the website as a really awesome tool for the shows, and a great hub, because we've been part of some networks in the past where, maybe they didn't put that much work into it, and it was mostly just like, hey, we're part of this network, but nobody's really promoting or helping, and, the community on Facebook and stuff. It's a really great overall situation. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that. One of the things that I like to do is to make it an open community where people can talk to one another. People, if you're in the same category type of show, like if you're part of the nerd and geek culture, like I am, then, here are some other people in the same area. You can pick each other's brains, maybe even have a guest spot on your show with them, or what have you, to open it up and to start, trading secrets, helping each other out. And that's basically how the cross-promotion kind of idea started to roll into play. So it was like, all right, you promote the network, we promote you. Visitors come to the site, they see, oh, there's more people in this category. What is this show all about? Oh, I like this show. Let's go check out what Salty Language is all about. And, it goes from there.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. You're right. That's exactly what it is because I hear different shows that are in the network, and they, go to tangentboundnetwork.com and blah, blah, and then I've been to the site as you've redesigned it multiple times, and, and because you're, adding things to the site, to make it, better, more secure, whatever it is at the time.
More secure seems to be the right word, because we've been hacked a couple of times, and the site's been down. Our mobile player is still down, which is interesting because if you go to shows.tangiboundnetwork.com, you can find all of the shows that are on the network. And when it decides to work, you can actually listen to the latest episode of every show. It's got a mobile player in it and everything. So you could go to, shows.tangiboundnetwork.com/show.php ID = 1. And that would be me,
Right.
But like, there's tons of shows. There's 149 shows on the network right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, the whole point was to showcase each and every one of these, but it got hacked. So when it decides to work, you can actually go and listen to the latest episode of every show that's on the network. But because we got hacked, it's very difficult. And I'm trying to work with these developers right now to integrate it into this new site, this new version of the site, so that it makes it easier to, manage the network, bring on new shows, to help promote the existing shows, so on and so forth. So
nice.
I am working on that.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. There's a lot of people that would probably encounter those things and just be like, yeah, well, hey guys, no more mobile player.
Well, under normal circumstances, I've come pretty close to saying, you know what, screw it.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore. But that's not fair to you guys. So it's like, I really want to make sure that to make it easier on promoting you guys and stuff like that. So to have that out there for your fan base, our fan base, whomever, to say, oh yes, Salty Language is new. Let's check this out.
Yeah.
They can do that. It's just one more release, one more way to get your show out there to help spread the word.
Yep.
So
right. Obviously, listening to what you're going through, if you're the website and hackers and everything, you have a passion for podcasting. Where'd that come from? Like, what got you?
That's a good question, and it really, it's also kind of a long story, but I'll try and keep it.
We got all night.
Hey, good. I'm all right. Let's do this. Okay, so this actually goes back about 4 years, and I was a friend of mine. Actually, let me start with this one. I'm a web developer. Okay, that's what I do. I code. I'm the creepy guy in the corner of the office, sitting in his hoodie, coding in the dark. That's me. I'm the creep factor. So I used to listen to music, but I got so sick of listening to Pandora because thinking, okay, well, if I want to listen to Metallica, I don't need to hear Beyonce. You know what I mean? They'd slip these in here like, you're listening to this song because, and it's like, no, that's not what I want. So I started going into audiobooks and stories. Then a friend of mine got me interested in this podcast called We're Alive, a story of survival. It's an audio drama. It was like, okay, that's cool. It's like a podcast. I can listen to it on a regular basis, whatever. Then I started getting into things like The Nerdist. Then I started getting into Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, Smodcast, all of these other ones out there. And it kind of got addicting to start listening to. It was kind of like this auditory voyeurism, a little peek into these people's lives,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It really is. Podcasts are addicting that way.
Yeah.
So one episode of Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, Kevin Smith said, anybody can do a podcast. If you have something to say and a way to record your voice and get it out there, you can do it. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need all this expensive stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said, with the way technology is progressing, you could even do it on your smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he goes, as long as you have something to talk about. And I'm like, well, I got a lot of things to say.
Yeah, I got so much.
Yeah. I got so much to say. So I practically attacked a coworker who got me into listening to podcasts. And I said, hey, you want to do a podcast? He's like, I'd love to do a podcast. And that was my first co-host, Alex. And we went through and we did a handful of episodes before he took a leave of absence, and then he ended up quitting. And then I got my new co-host, Jim, who's been my best friend since childhood. I've known him since the summer of 1981, if that tells you how old I am.
So you were born in 81. That's what you're telling us. Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Born in the winter, the beginning of the year. Met him in the summer, and yeah, I get it.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what? We'll go with that. Hang on a second. All right, so that is how the podcast got started. Is that I heard it from Kevin Smith. He says anybody can do a podcast. So I was like, all right, well, I want to do a podcast, so I did, and my wife was okay with it because I wasn't out drinking and chasing women. So I'm in the office, as you can see behind me.
Right. That part of it comes later in the podcasting. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. When you get fortune and glory and fame and all this other stuff.
Right.
If only that were true. But,
right.
So, that's how it got started. And I had to learn everything from scratch. Google was my best friend.
Yeah.
Up until I started finding these people who wanted to charge me for giving me advice. Like there's this guy out there called Podcast Answers Guy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he charges outrageous amounts of money just to tell you, no, you shouldn't have that equipment. It's like, well, but it's all I can afford.
Yeah, exactly.
So
seems like I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah.
I know, right? There's quite a few people out there that are making a killing this way, but
I got it. Tony, we'll put you in a lab coat. We'll call you Dr. Podcast, and
yes, I'm down.
Call him Dr. Cast.
Oh yeah, good.
Yes, Dr. Cast.
Can he have a cast on? Because I just want the obvious joke as well as the other part.
Well, actually, you put him in one of those cone collars for the dog.
I got to keep off my groin. It's okay.
That's probably not a bad idea anyway. He probably should wear one of those.
Just in general.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to. I interrupted you there.
Could fill it with corn nuts. Be cool. Be great.
That would be beautiful. In fact, you know what? I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too. That'd be great. Yeah, you're right though about that, and I can't stress this enough. If anyone happens to be listening and you're thinking of starting a podcast, don't pay anybody for this stuff. This information is all out there for free. Talk to Mark here, or contact other podcasters and just ask them, because a lot of us will just tell you.
Yeah,
exactly, and I think that was the main focus of why I started doing this the way I did it, was because I wanted to help people get started for free or with as little money out of pocket as possible. Mm-hmm. In fact, to the point where when I started the network, I was hosting people for free.
I remember that. I think when we first joined, you were doing that, and I was like, this is crazy.
Right? Exactly. And, I was giving it away for free. I was hosting their I'm still hosting, I want to say, 12 shows. Mm-hmm. I'm still hosting them to this day. The very first one I brought on was a good friend of mine. He's the host of the 8-Bit Packetcast. He's also host of the Delayed Effect and co-host of Down the Bunny Hole, partnered with another network. But he's got 3 different shows that he does, and he was the very first show that I brought on, and I hosted him just to test the waters. Mm-hmm. And it worked out so well that I was like, all right, I'm going to bring everybody else on board. And I was hosting for a very long time 24 different shows. Now, they've since called it quits, most of them. I'm down to 12, I think I said. Yeah. But I hosted them. I created their RSS feed for them, and I pointed them in the right direction to get moving. So that was the beginning of it. And then I got so passionate about it that I wanted to help all these people because I couldn't get that help. I wanted to make sure everybody else got that help.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
That's very generous of you.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It was. But I had a cheat in the pocket, if you will. So, it was kind of one of those things where I found a really good deal on hosting.
Oh, well. Makes you look like an amazing guy.
Right. Sounds like a win-win to me, yeah.
I was basically hosting the network for $12 a month.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, that's
22 shows for $12 a month.
That's strong.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that is really strong.
hell. You could charge each show $2 a month and come out of town.
Yeah.
If those shows hadn't called it quits, I probably would have said, "Okay, look, guys, it's getting kind of hard to do this, so everybody just pitch in like $2 and
Yeah.
we'll go from there."
Well,
That's fantastic.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But basically, it was basically everything out of pocket from myself. Whatever money I do see, whether it's from sponsors or from T-shirt sales or what have you, it all goes back into the network to help support the shows, and that's why I do it ultimately. So, like, I don't do it for the money; I do it for the passion.
Right.
Right. I think that's the majority of us.
It's really, it's the right attitude because, you know, as
Yeah.
you and I both kind of alluded to a little bit ago, you know, with the fortune and glory part, it's like, that doesn't happen very much,
There,
you know?
there really isn't
Yeah.
much fortune involved in podcasting.
Right.
There's a little bit of glory, and sometimes the glory hole. But I didn't say that out loud.
No, not at all.
You know, I've been fortunate enough. People have invited me to conventions. Say, hey, would you like to speak? Would you like to tell people how you do this? I've been fortunate enough to grow my show to the point where I have people going out to conventions and interviewing guests and cosplayers for me.
Mm.
I don't pay them anything. I give them a T-shirt every now and again. I get to say, you know, cool, thank you very much. And from time to time, I get to, you know, help them out. I'll get them into conventions for free.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, you know, they go to a Comic-Con, they go to Wizard World or whatever.
Man,
I'll
that's
try and
no
get them
joke,
in.
though. It's not like those tickets are $5, you know? Those tickets are
Yeah.
pricey, so if you can get people in for nothing, that's, you know...
Well, it's using media credentials, really. You literally get press passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of media. And so that's kind of the trade-off. They come onto my show and they review each convention. They interview people at these conventions, and we get to put it on the show. They get to have their voice out there, and they get to go into these conventions for free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's no monetary exchange.
Right.
It's and I can't even really say it's for the prestige, but you know,
Yeah.
it's you get a little bit of recognition. Your name gets out there, and other people are like, oh, you got a podcast? Well, I got a podcast.
Yep.
Oh, well, it just so happens that I have a network. Why don't you come on over and see what we're about?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't guessed yet, this episode of the show is basically like a 1980s cartoon. It's just all one big commercial for the network.
And that's not all. If
Yeah.
you act now,
Yeah.
we'll throw in.
Signed 8x10s. Someday.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my mind was kind of blown the first time we got press passes for a comic convention because I was like, really?
Yeah.
We're a 2-bit podcast
Yeah.
and we're the media?
Well,
this is amazing.
You know what's funny? Like, to me, the one that blew my mind was when we got passes to C2E2.
Yes.
That's what blew my
See, I'm
mind.
jealous. I have not been able to score passes.
Really? That surprises me. But it was interesting because we, you know, like we've had, like there's a local convention here in Toledo, and you know that one we get for, and we have for a couple other things. And when I saw the press thing for C2E2, I was like, you know, let's give it a go and see what happens. And they responded, and you know, like, yeah, and I was like, sweet. And then we started getting like all these other media opportunities like sent to us, and because you know you're put on a list basically of
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, of hey, here's media people who will be there essentially or whatever. So we started getting like we've had a couple of like these kind of shows, The Enthusiast, where people have reached out to us and said, hey, we'd like to be on your show. Here's what we do, you know, and that we weren't really getting that before that. So it was really cool that opened that door a little bit, you know, nothing crazy, but you know.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. I've interviewed artists. I've interviewed authors. I've interviewed comic book authors, comic book artists. I've interviewed a couple celebrities, if you will, voiceover artists, people who were like voiceover actress Tasia Valenza. She was in Clone Wars, Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Okay.
Right.
And she was in did some voices for video games like Metal Gear. So I mean,
That's cool. Yeah.
it is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And I've actually interviewed people from The Walking Dead. I've interviewed people. Was that? Wow. Okay, actually, John Dak Morton. He was actually in Empire Strikes Back. He was Dak.
Oh, okay.
The co-pilot. So I got to interview him. So I mean, this is actually kind of cool because podcasting has opened up such a door
Yeah.
for people. You've interviewed people. I've interviewed people. So I mean, you get this. I don't know. It just you get these opportunities that you normally wouldn't get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, especially, if you're any kind of like a geek or whatever, it gets you in that door a little bit. You get to kind of talk with people that, you, like you said, you wouldn't really get to talk with normally. So it kind of feeds into the, your hobby, your habit, your love, whatever you want to call it at that point, so it's, that's a really neat thing. Plus you can walk around all snooty with your press pass, tucked in your hat.
Of course.
Yeah.
You mean press passes?
Yeah.
There
Nice.
you go.
Man, that's way more than I have. I don't know.
I'm looking at the couple I got over here hanging up, all sad.
Well, some of them that we've gotten, they're not actual like passes. You get like
Here's your paper wristband.
Yeah. So
Yes, I love that. I've got those too.
Oh, you keep those too? Okay. Like
Well, I don't actually keep them per se, but
yeah.
One of the things I'm surprised about podcasting too is I've made a good amount of real life friendships
Yeah.
through podcasting of people that don't live anywhere near me, but I've met because we met in Chicago, a bunch of people, or
Yeah.
absolutely.
it's bizarre. That's something I never thought would ever happen doing this.
I now have a really good friend over in, he lives in Seattle. I've got now a friend that lives in Texas. I've got two friends that live in California. I've never met them in real life, but
Yeah.
I've done shows with them.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
Same
isn't it?
here. Yeah. We've
It is.
yeah,
Yeah,
because we got a friend in Australia. We've got, we've interviewed people from England. We have friends all over the country, in Canada. It's crazy how, and these aren't just people that are just like, oh yeah, I know them. These are people that was like, if they're in town, we better be hanging out or my feelings are going to get hurt, kind of thing.
I could pull my phone up and start texting some of them because I have their number. It's bizarre.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, basically at this point, you have an international reach
Yep.
Yeah.
because of podcasting. And that to me is a phenomenal thing. We actually had some shows from overseas on the network for a while. I don't know if you guys were familiar with the show Ultimate Facepalm.
Yes.
They were over in Australia before they called it quits. Those two guys, C-Bomb, G-Money, those guys were fantastic. I still talk to the one either on Facebook or on through whatever social media channel. But it's cool because I've had guests on from Ireland, from England, and because of podcasting and the fact that you can reach a common ground with so many different people all over the world, whether it's because of your show or the fact that you're into podcasting, so a little something. Maybe you've bumped shoulders with somebody. That whole reach that you have because of this is just an amazing, amazing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely is. It's cool because it's always fun when you can find somebody like-minded or someone who has the same interest in you. You can have nice conversations with and stuff. And it's like for us, like we got to interview a brewmaster of one of the local breweries here, and Tony and I were just total geeks on the episode because we both love beer, and she loved beer, and I mean we're just beer, the whole thing. And then
just out of curiosity, which brewery?
Black Cloister.
Black Cloister.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
And it was cool though because we went to a beer fest a few months later, and they were there, and we walked by, and she saw us, we walked up when she saw us and she was like, hey, we actually, even though we lived in the city, we hadn't actually met her yet because we did it via Skype for, sake of convenience. And, when we actually met her, we stood there and we're talking beers with her while we're there, and then it's, so it's always fun for us to have that kind of connection and stuff,
Yeah, actually, here in Cleveland, we have Great Lakes Brewery.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I keep forgetting
absolutely.
I keep forgetting that you are really close to us.
I know. And you kind of reminded me when you said Toledo.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's cool.
Right, yeah.
We have...
It's February. It's February, so Chill Wave IPA's coming out.
Aha! See, there you go.
And that's like I'm on the hunt for it, like this time of year.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites.
Me too.
I have been trying forever to get Great Lakes Brewery to either A, come on to my show, or B, sponsor my show.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be
Beer
awesome.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we also have Cleveland whiskey, and I love Cleveland whiskey like crazy. It's not the ideal whiskey, but it's an amazing whiskey. I love it.
Fair enough.
So, it's like, how about we work something out? Pretty please.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll pimp it out like a two.
Yeah. Give me a little whiskey. I'll talk about it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I take a drink. That is some delicious whiskey.
Smooth.
See, now I would actually offer to do the voiceover work for them, seeing, using only natural ingredients. Cleveland whiskey is pressure aged to perfection for a great smooth flavor. I would do that. I would totally be like, I volunteer as tribute.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. That's something we've always joked around about, is trying to get us beer sponsors. So we completely understand.
Yeah.
Because, I would, oof. So obviously you're into the craft beers. We always have to segue into chraf beer at some point.
Yeah, that's what we do on every one of
absolutely.
these. Yeah, we can't have one of these without asking people if they enjoy beer.
Would that be considered, a tangent?
Oh, I see what you did there.
See what you did.
You
Nice.
sneaky son of... Anyway, yeah. Could be. It very well could be.
Yes, indeed.
So I guess what's your go-to Great Lakes brewing beer?
Well, it used to be the Christmas ale, but it's off every year. It's like different.
Mm-hmm.
Some years it's really great. Some years it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And it used
Usually
to be,
buy a six-pack every year. I can't help it.
Yeah. Well, have you ever noticed the flavor's a little bit different each year? It's it's not a set recipe. The one that I really do love is the Dortmunder Gold.
Right.
Now, I also I like the, oh, wow, what was that? I lost it. I don't have any, otherwise I'd remember.
Right.
Yeah. Like, hold it up and be like, this.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I like them. I'm a big fan of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yes, that. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Holy
Hey.
crap.
See, we just connected.
Yeah.
It was nice.
There you go.
That
Yep.
was a beautiful... That we had a moment.
We had that. I love the Lake Erie Monster, and Chill Wave is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chill Wave's my favorite of theirs. Yeah. Man. It's funny because when I first had Chill Wave, I was not a real heavy IPA drinker, and I was like, dude, I can't do doubles or triple IPAs. And Tony, we were at a bar, and he's just like, nah, you got to try this one. And I was like, fine. Yeah. And then him and I, like, their keg was running low, and him and I killed the keg that night. So
yeah, I think that first sip you took, like this beam of light came through the window and hit you right on the forehead. And,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely understand. The first time I had the Dortmunder Gold. Now, for the longest time, I really couldn't drink beer. It upset my stomach. But then later on, kind of got used to it. So I started trying different types of beer. And, when I found Great Lakes, I was just like floored. I was just like, oh, this is amazing. Where have you been all my life?
Right in your backyard. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, here we ended up getting Yingling the past couple of years.
Yep.
And then, to me, I'll drink Yingling all day. Now, if you take a Heineken and remove the skunk from Heineken, you have a Yingling. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's when we first got Yingling, I was like, I love you. So,
I did the same thing, actually. Yeah.
Because I'd never had a Yingling.
No, I hadn't either. Yeah.
Anytime I've ever been to Pennsylvania, I've had Rolling Rock. I mean, come on. And then,
right.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
But then my palate grew.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. I had some Yingling left in my fridge, and I had them Tuesday, and I'm drinking them, and I'm just like, it's fine, but it's just not doing what I want it to do here. It's not hitting the notes that I'm wanting from a beer anymore. So,
yep.
Well, you kind of got spoiled with the IPAs and everything else, and the craft beers. Mm-hmm. You get spoiled with that. And you get these different flavors that really hit home hard.
Yeah.
To switch over to like a Bud Light where it tastes like it was filtered through an ass. It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I think I saw that in their commercial, actually. That's why they keep those horses around.
Cold filtered through horse ass.
Yeah.
That was a cold horse.
Yeah, I think, have you found yourself being the bane of some of your friends because you get them in the craft beer and they forever hate you because they're starting to spend astronomical amounts of money?
Actually, no. I've got the friend who actually did that to me.
Okay.
You know what
you
I'm saying?
were the victim.
I was the victim. It's kind of like my top 3 happy things are craft beer, scotch and whiskey, and cigars.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, listen.
Clearly, we should hang out.
Yeah.
Well, you're only a short drive.
That's true.
Away, so
this is true.
It's true.
Pod meet up.
Yep. Oh darn! I guess we have to go to Great Lakes, Tony.
Oh shucks!
Hey,
twist my arm.
We'll go over to Great Lakes Brewery. They've got a nice restaurant in there too.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd be a real shame to eat at some Michael Simon places. That would really suck.
Well, because around the corner from Great Lakes, in that building, round the corner is a place called Cigars. Now, you get to buy a cigar. You go upstairs into the loft area, and you can sit and drink your Great Lakes Brewery and have a cigar.
That sounds convenient.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, really. That sounds pretty terrific.
Yeah.
So, those are my 3 pleasures.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we're all on board there. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like a nice gentleman's evening.
It does.
You have no idea. And I'll tell you what, actually, next year, October, November, we're doing this again. We did this past year. We had there's a tabletop gaming convention called Con on the Cob. We've been trying to invite podcasters out to this way to come and participate. And we ended up having probably a small handful of podcasters from all over. And it was kind of cool. But there were a few moments where, it would have been cool to have some people like you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this coming year,
manly men, is that what you're saying? No.
The men with the manly beard, unite.
Right.
You got to come out this way, and we'll make a day. We'll go up to Great Lakes, and then we'll just basically enjoy it and then head back to the con.
That sounds like a win. I know our pal Clint from Geek Dig Pod.
Yes.
Went over there because he was trying to get us to come along. But I think we were doing something else that happened to be on that weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say there was something else that weekend. Yeah.
Yes, because Clint was there and he was hanging out with us, and it was definitely a great time. Absolutely great time. That was also one of the places where most of us got up and did a panel on podcasting and to the general audience, and we ended up actually ended up getting 2 new shows for the network that weekend because they're like, I want to start a show. I'm like, okay, cool, come on, let's talk. So.
Here's a clipboard, sign up.
Right? You have to put in a year.
It was more like go to tangibilnetwork.com and sign up.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, please leave me alone. I'm trying to smoke a cigar.
What the hell's wrong with you? Come on, man.
Yeah. Do you not see?
I'm a fancy man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like you're sitting there with a scotch and a cigar, like, come on.
What? Come on.
Yeah.
Can't you see I'm working over here?
Yeah.
Come on.
I got my casual top hat on. Leave me alone.
Casual top hat. Go away, kid. You bother me.
What, kid? Go away. You bother me.
Yeah.
See, here's the deal. We're going to be talking like this with we got a stogie in
course.
one hand, we got the scotch in the other. Here we go. Yeah, go sports. Yeah.
Well, it's not a terrible option for us because it's not that far of a drive.
No,
Cleveland.
not at all. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I know there's a couple other conventions headed out your way, and let's see here. The same guy who does Con on the Cob also does Oddmall, and he does one in Toledo as well. He's also got there's another Fantastic Con goes on out there.
Yep. Yeah, we've been to that one a couple of times. Yeah.
A lot of my friends, the cosplayers, and actually the people that I send off to cons usually go to Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Well, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went last year and perused and talked with the Source Point Press folks, and since
absolutely.
since we're all pals and such. So
yeah, we're all buddies with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's actually coming up pretty soon here. I think that's like next month, if I'm not mistaken, or the month after. I think it's March.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it is March.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I've got a full schedule for March because I've kind of wanted to go to Fantastic Con, but I'm not going to be able to. I've got Anna Marathon at the end of the month, which is at Bowling Green.
Okay.
And that's a whole anime convention at Bowling Green State University, which is actually pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a huge area for that. And then we got Cleveland Concoction and Wizard World Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot they have a Wizard World Cleveland now. Yeah. I forgot they added like 17 Wizard World shows.
Holy crap. Wow.
No, I'm exaggerating. I don't know. I
was just...
but they are everywhere now.
Yeah, they do have a
everywhere.
lot. Yeah.
They even have their own cruise line.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So you could go on a cruise with the celebrities and, cosplayers and all this other stuff on a cruise ship.
Wow.
I'm in the wrong business.
Those poor celebrities.
I know, right? Nowhere to go.
People just chasing them around talking about tachyons the whole time or whatever.
Like, God, another Aquaman? I get it.
Yes, you're home. Okay, I got it.
Jesus.
I kid. Like, we're dumping on them, but, we'd be right there doing the same thing. So,
That's
All right,
true.
in episode 136 of this show, could you tell me what that really meant?
Yeah. Go away, kid. You bothered me.
What do I look like here? Come on. I'm sitting here. I'm working over here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sure, I'll tell you. $25. Like, what?
$25 and I'll even give you this headshot.
Yep. That's a good racket. No,
See how that works? I should
Yeah.
do that for Tangible Network.
Yeah.
$25, you can have my headshot.
right. And one piece of free advice, which is you shouldn't have given me $25.
Don't take
Strong
any wooden
advice.
nickels.
Yeah. What can I say?
All right.
Don't.
Tangent bound cruise line. No, just
Yeah.
get like a nice pontoon boat, go out on the lake.
Lake Erie Cruises presents Tangent Bound Cruise Line.
Oh, see, and
It's
then
a paddle boat.
presented by Cleveland Whiskey and Great Lakes Brewing. Enjoy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Enjoy responsibly.
You only get one beer.
Well, yeah, because
there's not enough room for an entire
right?
cooler.
Yeah, no, and you have to carry it on yourself. Like it's not even
Right.
yeah. It's like they have
actually you got to finish before you get on the boat.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Like good thing I brought my flasks.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you guys caught, I pluralized flask. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
We're good.
You have two hands, so what are you going to do? Hold it one with, well, actually, I've seen really big ones, but yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, okay. See, flask, cigar,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Monocles, because you got to be
Monocles.
fancy. Right.
right.
And,
Gotta.
and,
Absolutely.
and your sailing
Well-
hat. Yeah.
Well, okay, the whole monocle thing, kind of reminds me of, well, here's a deer, my son. Yeah.
Precisely.
It doesn't quite work that way for me.
Oh, now see, when we talk about monocles, I don't know if you've ever seen the Futurama where Bender has one on and then he puts a second one on. That's more of what we think of.
It's so fancy. You need two monocles.
Yeah. We actually have an episode of our show called, was it Two Monocle Fancy or whatever it is?
Double monocle.
Double Monocle Fancy. Yeah. So,
I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, we're men of leisure, but not stuffy gentlemen,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So, to completely change up here, because I want to make sure we talk about this, you want to tell us and everybody else about your GoFundMe that you got going here?
No.
Okay,
Just
fair
kidding.
enough. Moving on.
Moving on.
So, back to cigars. No.
Go fund me. That's it, really. Just go fund me. Please.
Smart. That's a good strategy.
Well, it's a great strategy. Come on. Essentially, what I'm doing is because, the whole passion for podcasting and the arts and everything, because I've also been doing a lot of voiceover work for different shows, Canadian internet radio station, and so on and so forth. I've become quite the gearhead where it comes to like the equipment and stuff, and I want to manufacture my own audio equipment.
Okay.
So, including microphones, studio monitoring headphones, as well as mixers. Now, both USB and not USB. So right now, my GoFundMe is for some working prototypes for a few microphones so that I can test them and make sure they work. I've been working with a few audio engineers. I've been working with a manufacturer to design these microphones to my specifications, along with everything that I've consulted with other podcasters and audio engineers and stuff like that, so that I can have quality audio equipment for other people that I could put into their hands for like the least amount of hassle possible.
Sure.
Whereas, you go online, you go to Audio Technica, you go to CAD Audio or wherever. And these things are outrageous. And for what? So I want to put quality in. I mean, these, what I'm designing are higher end microphones that I want to bring the price down on.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to do is work with this manufacturer to get these manufactured. I tried to take this to Kickstarter before, but Kickstarter kept denying me because I didn't have any kind of prototypes to show what people would be getting. So after thinking about that and going back and forth with them, saying, okay, well, I don't have the money to get the prototypes, so that's why I'm here at Kickstarter.
Right.
So,
yeah.
but you need something to show. Okay, well, I need something to show, but I need the money to get something to show. It was a catch-22. So
Now, would they have
when I started
accepted
talking with-
crude drawings?
They would. I tried to submit ones drawn on napkins, but they were like, "Yeah, no, that doesn't work."
Jerks.
So I called
It's-
it a quick kick.
Sorry, real quick. I just pictured like a ring from like your Scotch glass on the napkin, like a bar joke on there. You've kind of just drawn over it.
Say that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I called it quits on Kickstarter. Started consulting with other podcasters, and basically I was like, okay. Working prototype, that has to be the key. So now I need to get the money together to get these working prototypes. I've been working with this manufacturer. They're ready to make these for the first time. They're ready to ship these out. They would be ready within a couple of weeks. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the money yet. So that's why I've got the Kickstarter or the GoFundMe campaign going, and it's $3,000. Now, like $3,000 for microphones? Really? Come on. Well, first of all, these have never been made before. Second of all, there aren't just a couple of microphones. We're talking phases 1 and 2 are, well, phase 1 is a set of 3 different microphones. Phase 2 is the next 3 microphones. So that's 6 different types of microphones that have never been made before to the specifications that I know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've got a buddy who's doing market research and patent research to make sure that I'm not infringing upon somebody else's design.
Sure, yeah.
So at this point, as far as I know, these 6 microphones have never been made. Now, because they need to get these components together, put them in the correct sequences that we've discussed, et cetera, this costs money.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the shipping, which is the shipping alone is going to be over $500 because they're being shipped freight.
Oh, okay.
Right.
From overseas.
Oh, yeah.
And now that we have a new president, there's probably going to be a tariff on that.
Yeah. That's a long truck drive.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, long truck drive.
Yeah.
But also, there's also a bank fee because they only do ACH or wire transfer. I can't just throw it in there in PayPal.
Yeah.
Because that would be easy. I'd be like, great, I got PayPal credit. Go for it.
Just,
okay, just take it.
Just throw some cash in an envelope. I'm sure it'll make it to them.
Yeah, here, take it.
Yeah.
So basically, when all is said and done, and I've got the funds and I send it over, I'm going to have $5 left over for, maybe a cup of coffee or a chicken sandwich with cheese. I don't know. Okay.
With cheese. Nice.
Right? See, I'm splurging. Get the cheese.
That's the fortune and glory we were alluding to earlier.
Yeah. Cheese on your sandwich.
That's right. Don't you know who I am? I am Tangentbound.
I demand cheese.
I wish for cheese. I should get cheese. Then do that little.
Yes.
What is that? Why am I seeing that all over the place?
It's the salt sprinkling chef meme.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So essentially, this $3,000 is going to all of those microphones that have never been made, as far as I'm aware. So, and then that would also bring them here, and then I can test them thoroughly. I would be giving them also to other podcasts to test as well. So basically, this is a win for everybody. So if you're willing to contribute or share the link or to have me on your show to talk about it, I'm willing to, you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours. So when the actual phases roll around, when I kickstart this, if all is said and done and is perfect, I'm going to take these prototypes, I'm going to take them to GoFundMe or Indiegogo or back to Kickstarter, whatever, and I'm going to show people this is what you're getting. Now, those people who have helped me put this out there, like you guys, I would be more than happy to donate microphones to your show because you helped me. If you donated, depending on the Kickstarter campaign, you could get your own mics. So,
right.
The whole point is to try and get these working prototypes out there so that I can test them, license them, and take it to the next level. So go to GoFundMe.com/help me create something awesome. Literally, that's the link. Although there are hyphens in between each word. So it's help-me-create-something-awesome.
Well, that's how you would say it. So
exactly.
Yeah. Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to create audio equipment, professional audio for the masses, and try and put them in people's hands for less than what you would see on Amazon or Guitar Center or wherever you go.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination these are cheap microphones. These are high-end microphones that I'm trying to put into your hands for less. Something that would normally retail for $120, $140 is going to go for $60, $65.
Yeah.
Something that's going to go for $199 to $200 is going to be $99. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take high quality audio equipment and put in your hands without the hassle, without the extra costs, and you're not paying for a name, you're paying for quality.
Right. That's totally understandable, because you're right. It's like, there's been times like there's been different microphones I've seen, the reviews for and stuff, and you read that they're, a lot of people use a certain one or whatever, and then you look at the price on it, and it's like, I don't have $150 to lay into a microphone,
Right.
But
Exactly.
like you said, if you get one that's like a $120 one for $60, it's like $60 I could probably come up with. 120,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I got to really think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I have a really
a lot of
expensive
people-
whiskey habit. No, I'm kidding.
See, essentially, you got these people that are, they put so much faith in Shure or Audio-Technica or CAD or Heil. Heil? H-E-I-L?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
Either way.
I don't remember. But
Either way, you covered
they're
it.
expensive.
So, yeah.
they're expensive. Even the Audio-Technica, where, yes, the quality is great. In fact, I've got Audio-Technica mics when we go to different conventions and stuff. We have Audio-Technica wireless mics. They're fantastic, but they're expensive.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, right now I'm using a Behringer C3 XLR. Okay, it's a great mic, but it's higher priced,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get these quality microphones into your hands with less expense to you, less out-of-pocket expense, I should say.
Right. Awesome. That's very cool.
So it's that podcast passion again.
It is the podcast passion. It's kind of going to be my downfall too, because nobody's helping out so far. I've got a couple of pending donations, so I was like, "Yay, cool!" I got so excited when I saw those. I was going to do a little happy dance. I was like, Nagila, So I was just going, and then it just kind of tapered off, and I'm like, "Okay, I need some help, guys."
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you heard the man, everyone listening. We expect everybody who listens.
Yeah.
And if not...
All right, look, kid, here's the deal. I'll let you come talk to me at a convention.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want a headshot? Here you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Charge them $25 and then take their phone and do a selfie. There's your headshot. Print it out yourself.
What's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? I did that with Jason Mewes.
Really?
He was at Wizard World Cleveland, and I got selfies with Jason, but that was $25.
Right.
Funny
was that actually on the menu of stuff? Like if you want to do a selfie, it's $25? Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I figured that was going to happen at some point, that was going to be part of the standard list,
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But here, let me see if I can find the picture. I'll see if I can show you real quick. I got... Where is it? There it is. Okay. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
And then we've got more. He just took my phone and started doing selfies.
That's great. He didn't just give you here's stock smile and get out of my face,
Well, I also got his autograph. Like, oh, well, you paid for this, so you can have this autographed picture. It was him and Kevin Smith from Mallrats, where they're sitting down. He's stuffing his socks with quarters.
Right.
Oh, nice.
It's from that scene, and he just signed it.
Oh, cool. Nice.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
The magic of going to conventions for your podcast.
It's cool. Well, I had him make it out the Tangent Pound Network, so, it's all official now.
Sure.
Yeah,
It'll go up
sure.
on the wall of shame.
Oh,
we all need a wall of shame.
I was thinking that when you buy the Tangent Tower, that,
Tangent Tower!
it'll go on the wall.
I can just see that now in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Welcome to Cleveland, home of the Tangent Bound Network, the Cleveland Tangent Tower, or something. I don't know.
The most obnoxious building in there.
It's like Stark Tower.
Yes. I like this
I'll have
idea.
it modeled after the event.
Yeah.
Be a new Ohio landmark.
Yep. New reason to come to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I gotta go see that
sure.
Tangent Tower.
D. Mark in his high tower.
Yep. I hear they have beer, scotch, whiskey, and cigars there.
Well, yes, because Great Lakes now, I own it. I mean, I own Great Lakes and Cleveland whiskey now.
Right. That only makes sense. I mean, if you have the tower,
And I bought Cuba, so
yeah.
I bought Cuba, so the cigars are mine.
It's all coming together.
Nice. I like
See
this.
what would happen if everyone funded your GoFundMe?
Yeah.
All these plans.
Yep. First the microphones, then the tower. That's how these things work. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
First Cleveland, Ohio, and then the world. I'm actually really a white laboratory mouse trying to take over the world.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. People can't see the visual, but we can,
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that you're talking, on a microphone through it, it from your cage, but it's all right. It's the first time.
Yeah. Gee, Brian, what do you want to do tonight?
Oh, God, I miss that show.
Yeah.
I know, right? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
It's in Netflix, Tony.
Is it a Netflix?
Yeah.
It is a Netflix.
Yeah.
Just an ass,
You don't remember when I talked about it on our show? When I was like, hey,
Right.
I went back and watched all of Animaniacs on Netflix.
I did the same thing. As soon as the next day, I even took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. Like, look what I'm watching. Everybody's like, yeah, I already did that yesterday. I'm like, well,
So? Yeah.
Show off.
Yeah.
go away, kid. You bother me.
Yeah. See? It's just the perfect blow off,
Pretty catchphrase for the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right? So,
That and GoFund Mark.
yeah.
Yes, GoFundMark. I'm
Right.
going to actually buy that website, and it's
That's-
going to no longer be GoFundMe. It's going to be GoFundMark.
That's
how I'm
just
gonna
smart.
That's how I'm
That's strong,
going to
actually.
get Tangent Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. That's what you do is you put the design of the tower on the website, and that'll be your bar for how much money you've raised.
Oh,
So,
Nice.
as it gets finished, they'll get to see the actual tower on the website.
right now
Beautiful
it's about the size of a bungalow.
Yeah. Right now it's you
then
buying a
it's
hot
set up
dog
to-
on the street.
Right. In front of the proposed Tangent Tower.
And
Yeah.
the hot dog has no cheese.
No cheese. No
Not
cheese.
yet. We're not ready,
Yep.
not ready
I
to
don't
put
even
cheese.
Either that or it's just a picture of you turning your pockets out.
Desperation.
Yeah.
This is a desperation picture.
Right. The next step is the hot dog,
Sir,
then
can I
cheese.
have some change?
Nah, kid, you're just gonna buy hot dogs and cheese with it. Go away, kid. You bother me.
Please, sir. I'm starving. Please, pretty please.
Oh, shit.
What a weird play
That's
this
what I
is.
No, right?
My lovely tea party.
Yep.
So yes, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's fair.
A good story.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty good. We're on board here. So, everybody, like I said, go help Mark out because, he's a good guy, just trying to do right by the world. Trying to help podcasters not go broke starting their shows, or
Exactly.
that are already broke. Have some decent equipment when they start, at least, or that next step. Which
The original slogan for that was going to be helping podcasters not suck.
well,
I like it.
But honestly, I don't think I could actually go with that because
it'd be a lie.
if
'cause
there's a
they're
way
still
to
gonna
ever
say,
get
"Oh."
an audience, that's the way. Just insult them.
Yep, that's what we do. It's very
So far, so
lucrative.
good.
Listen, there's cheese on all of my sandwiches. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa. Oh, Mr. Show Off here.
I mean,
see.
honestly, it's only cheese on there, but
Say, well then, if you can afford the cheese, mister,
Right.
you can go over to GoFundMe.com. I'll take a nickel.
that would be interesting. Like,
Yeah, how do you pledge a nickel?
yeah, like I will give you 1 nickel, sir. Again, I'm just going to tape it to an index card and mail it to you. That's how,
Here, GoFundMe.
Yeah,
I will gladly pay you Tuesday.
yeah. Here, hope this helps. XOXO.
Hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses.
Your acquaintances at the Salty Language Podcast.
Not even friends.
No, just acquaintances. Yeah, we give dimes to friends. You know.
Sprinkles are for winners.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Coffee's for closers. I know. Yep.
Coffee's for
sure.
Ice cream and coffee and all the goodies that I get until I get to Tangent Towers.
Yeah, that would be.
I think
okay
that's
too.
the name of your episode right there, Tangent Towers.
It should be. We don't.
It should be. I agree.
I know. I usually name these episodes after who's on them. I'm after the last one and now this one, man. It's tough because last time we had Giggle Talk, which would have been fantastic for a title.
Yeah,
so,
would have been.
Yeah.
I love
that.
Giggle Talk.
Yeah.
That was our last guest's first podcast. Was Giggle Talk.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yep.
We thought so, and
Yeah.
boy, did we write it into the ground.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We wrote it into the ground so hard that it got dug up the next day and put in a museum. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
It
yeah,
was brutal. Fun though. A lot of fun.
yeah.
And Indiana Jones came into play. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah.
If only that'd be great. He was taken care of by top men.
Big top man.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, Mark, where you want to throw like 40, 50 links out here for people to check you out at?
All right. First and foremost, most importantly, is Tangent Bound Network, tangentboundnetwork.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find us on Facebook, Tangent Bound Network, and on Twitter, at Tangent Bound PC. And then on Instagram, which is a recent development. Well, not really recent anymore. Anyway, the Tangent Bound Network, all underscored. And, you notice me in special characters and links?
Yeah.
Yeah, GoFundMe.com helped me create something awesome with hyphens.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Instagram, the Tangent Bound Network with all underscores. I love ridiculously long. I love ridiculously long URLs to the point where my very first URL for the Tangent Bound podcast was the square root of -1.com.
Wow, that's a long title.
Yes, indeed.
Huh.
So anyway, yes, enough of that history. But yeah, if you have questions, comments, moans, groans, gripes, or complaints, feel free to email me, Mark at tangentboundnetwork.com.
Right.
And also, I do voiceover work, so if you need anybody for that, you can hit me up that way too.
Mm-hmm. Sensual Readings by Mark, I believe it's called, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Sensual reading by Mark.
Nice.
That's a good racket. You could run that from inside Tangent Tower too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from Tangent Towers. The sweet, seductive sounds of Mark.
This is the dropped octave with Mark.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Octave. I love it. That is absolutely beautiful. Talk about the key of drop D, baby.
Whoa.
Dropping D.
That was guitar talk. Drop D. That's the key.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's,
yeah.
There's drop D.
Sure.
There's drop D.
Yeah, right. We all understood.
Starting to think Tangent Tower had some sort of weird, dungeon or something.
Well, let's not rule anything out. I mean,
You saw me start to contemplate that.
yeah.
I'm like,
Listen.
Wait, maybe I do need a dungeon.
this could bring in some extra income.
Yeah. See, that's like I said. Let's not rule anything out.
Yeah, let's hear this out a
Right.
minute. Let's
Sure.
go ahead.
An open mind makes for a full wallet. That's the strategy here.
Just put it in the blueprints. We don't know yet.
We'll go ahead and stick a pin in that.
Yeah. Let's say it's not a no. Let's just say I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, and hopefully, people listening will throw some money at you, preferably for your GoFundMe. But hey, whatever. I mean, if you're up there,
Get rain up in here.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're up there shaking it, Mark can be found at Jiggly's on Friday nights, and
Yeah, there's more than one thing jiggling here. I got a belly that's looks like I got a baby boy. So, I mean, it kind of jiggles. So,
Yeah, well,
if
you
you're
know.
into that,
There you
throw
go.
money at me.
Yeah.
I'll dance. I'll shake that, watch it wiggle. See it shimmer. All right, I've taken up enough of your time.
Oh, no, good enough, man. This has been a great time. Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
You're like, get the hell off my show.
No, not at all. No, it's one of those where it's dangerous because, if we don't stop here, we'll go off on a tangent.
Keep going.
On more tangents?
Yes. Tony, I'm trying to get the man's brand in here, and you just trampled all over me.
Brian, that's what I do.
Notice I'm going to shut up now.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, see you, Mark.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that because, as we said before, we had a great time recording it.
Definitely.
And
Mark's a good guy, a lot of fun. We'll have to have him back on the show for sure.
Definitely, yeah. And, something we didn't quite mention on the show that I kind of want to point out here, which is if you're thinking of getting into podcasting, I kind of mentioned it on the show, if you're thinking of getting into podcasting, or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're still kind of at that fledgling stage or whatever, hit Mark up because, he's more than willing to help people and he's been around for a while. So, he may not, as he even said, it's like we're still constantly learning stuff, but he's already been through a lot of those trials that you go through early on. So, he might be able to help you swerve some of the potholes along the way.
Put a guiding hand right on your buttocks.
Yes, a nice tender embrace and, just a gentle nudge forward,
Right?
So, definitely check that out. All the links for Mark and everything will be in the show notes. And, you can, if anything else, you can always find him over at tangentboundnetwork.com, which is, a network that proudly has us in it. So,
yes.
I mean, every network has to have a flagship show. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he has one.
Well played, sir. Well played. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Go away, kid. You bother me.